what's going on?
Look, I just did a little check and you could hear every fucking thing. I can hear what are those, like, crickets? I live in the South, so it's like these crickets or whatever very loudly outside. You kind of can hear my air conditioning. I'm not turning it off because it's very hot. And I feel like it's getting hotter. Like, normally during the day it gets cooler. But I feel like last week, it's been very hot. And it's like 7:30. So I'm like, well, what's going on here? Like, even hotter than, like, in the regular, like, 12 o'clock. Yeah, I'm sure that's what's going on. So I'm not turning that off. We're going to be very sloppy today. I'm going to try not to speak into the mic so loudly. Speak so closely to the mic because I checked last week and that wasn't cute. Like, I kind of heard it and it was just like, whoa, I'm just kind of loud. But anyways, this is the Dare Show Podcast. Welcome to the Dare Show Podcast. I want to dare you to look at things through a different perspective, my perspective. Let's get it started. Are you guys excited for Blackground Music to be releasing all of these artists that have not been on streaming? Now, I don't have, like, Apple Music, and I feel like, I don't have iTunes, and I feel like that's the only way you really buy music, or can you, maybe through Google Play? I don't know what the Android version of music buying is these days. So, yeah, I don't know. But as far as I know, you can't buy, like, Aaliyah's... Can you? I don't think you can buy Aaliyah's music, like, on a streaming site. Or, like, on iTunes. I don't think so. But, okay, so... Blackground Music, Aaliyah's uncle, Barry Hankerson, he's teamed up with Empire Records to release Aaliyah, Toni Braxton, Timberland, JoJo, Tank, I think, yeah, Tank. A ton of artists and their music from the late 90s, early 2000s, or 90s, early 2000s. Albums. I really don't care about anybody else's album except for Libra, the Libra album from Toni Braxton. Such incredible songs. I feel like that's like her. People love her first album, but I'm like, I love her second album more. And as a cohesive album, I prefer Libra. And I'm so happy now I can delete Libra from my phone and I can just stream it on Spotify. I can't wait. I'm going to give, Please was the fucking banger off of that album. Really. Please. I love Midnight. I love I Want to Be Your Baby. I love Take This Ring. The song with the Tupac sample. Oh, son, I Can't Breathe. There's so many great songs off of that album, and I can't wait to stream them. Like, Toni Braxton, I'm gonna probably stream Toni for the rest of the month. For the rest of the year. It starts later this month. Aaliyah's stuff comes out, but in October for Libra season, Libra is gonna be able to stream. So that's so exciting. Now, the reason why I bring this up, partly because I love Toni. Another reason why, because I'm just confused. I was like, how does this man have the masters and the power to not release these songs to streaming? And I did some research. And we're talking about Black power. We're talking about straight up power. But first I wanted to say that, I want to say something first. Did I have to do with Leah? Blackground releases. I forgot. I wanted to say something kind of important. Okay, but anyway. So I was just like, how does this man have the power? Because most of the time, you have a bigger label, and then you have a label, the bigger label And then underneath the label, you have like a mini label. Then I thought that's what that was. But it's not, you guys. Barry Hankerson, who has, and we're allegedly, you know, he owes probably all of these artists money, so he's probably not gonna get the money. Oh, side note, I was just like, why do you want to? I'm not hating. We just know at this point streaming doesn't make a lot of money for artists, so I'm just like, I guess you just do it just to play the game. Oh, this is what I wanted to say. It's funny because, you know, we know for the last like 3 or 4 years, Aaliyah's estate and Barry, they've been saying, oh, we're going to put it out this week, or we're going to put it out very soon. Well, you know, this year it's going to come out. It's going to come out, y'all. We're going to put this stuff out on streaming. Don't y'all worry. And it's just like, I did not really believe it, but now we have release dates and stuff. So that's exciting. That's really cool. Okay, so like I said, so you have a bigger label, and you normally have a smaller label, and the smaller label comes to the bigger label like, can we make a contract? You release our stuff, blah 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 blah. The bigger label most of the time owns the masters and gets a huge percent of the check. I'm talking like late 90s. I don't think this really happens anymore so much. Child, there's a fly in here. Oh my gosh. Anyways, so I was like, how does this man have this much power? I'm like, because, you know, most of the time, like a lawsuit would happen. Like the bigger label would put something out, so the smaller label or the artist will have to sue the bigger label to make a stop or, you know, get your money. No, Barry Hankerson created Blackground Records, or Blackground Entertainment Enterprise at the time it was called. He created this entity because he had so much faith and so much vision in Aaliyah and, you know, people weren't fucking with her like that, trying to trying to, you know, give her an opportunity. So he created his opportunity, and he collaborated, quote unquote, merged with these big labels like a hoe, basically. Because I was reading, like, he went through Jive Records, Atlantic Records, Virgin Records. Now he's going through Empire Records to release the stuff. But they were just distribution for his music, for Aaliyah's music, for Tony's music, for whoever's music at the time. So I was like, wow. They're just distributing. They're just distributing his music, and I'm like, okay, wow. So that's why, you know, Tony's suing him, JoJo's suing him. They're putting up a fight with him, and not like Atlantic or Jive or Virgin. So shout out to that. That's very exciting. We know like JoJo had like a big falling out with him, but it's like she was so young, and it's so interesting how she picked up on some stuff. She was like, he made her feel such a mess. He made her feel like she wasn't worthy, or stuff like that, sort of negative things. And I think she had a hard time getting out of her contract, or even like to get her masters, I think, something like that. So she had to re-record her music and resell it. Were people saying it was somebody? I think so. I think they were saying that nobody fucks with the re-recording, so they don't really care. And plus, you know, I'm sure her voice is 100% different. I was listening to like one of the songs, like I think it was like Leave. We all know Leave, Get Out. Right now, it's over between me and you, sugar. We all know that song. And it's like, sometimes I feel like, where is her voice? Because I feel like it's so much going on in that song. And it's like, what does her voice sound like? What is her voice? Where is her voice? But anyway, shout out to Empire Records. Leona Lewis I mean, Blackground Records. Leona Lewis, you guys. So this week I came across Leona Lewis. Like, I love me some Leona Lewis. Ever since she won the X Factor, she had amazing songs. She's had a really great career. And I was like, I came across this video of them saying, like, her decline or something like that. And I was like, wait a minute, what are you talking about? Let me look and see. And baby, they shaded the fuck out of her. They showed how she was faking notes. And it's easy to fake a note. How her autoimmune disease got a hold of her, and she had Hashimoto disease in 2017. She came out and told us that. I don't remember any of this. I really don't. I think the last like Leona Lewis project I paid attention to was like Run or Falling Apart. I Will Be. I think that's what the song is called. I know she put out a Christmas album. But Leona, child. So Hashimoto disease deals with the thyroid. The thyroid is connected to the voice, and as we know, like Rachel Ray and Oprah, when they like went through like their, I don't think, wait, maybe Rachel Ray. I forget. I was meaning to look that up. I'm not sure if Rachel Ray went through that, but I know like when your thyroid is, going crazy. My mom has like thyroid issues, and when it's going crazy, it really affects even speaking. So singing is out of the question. So they were talking about like she was like singing while she was like sick, or quote unquote sick. Well, yeah, she was sick because she was like, her body wasn't feeling well and stuff. But singing while, her voice wasn't up to par. Her voice was going through this thyroid issue. And I'm just like, maybe the girl needed money. I'm not sure. But her tours weren't that extensive, I don't think. And it's funny, she only, like, the tour dates that are shown, she only toured in, like, Europe. So, I don't know. Oh, I say that to say, like, she only toured in Europe, but now she lives in America. And I think she's lived in America for the last, like, forever. That's what it seemed like. She's only lived in America since her career. But, we love Leona Lewis, and definitely her voice did take a decline. And it's only been, it's been like 10, 13, 14 years, 15, 13, 14 years since she came out. I think it was like 2007. She came out swinging, baby. That Bleeding Love, Whatever It Takes. I was just listening to, her songs. I was like, wait, I know this song. Incredible voice. I remember they were, what's it called? Comparing her to Whitney and Mariah. And I never got like the Whitney vibe. Definitely the Mariah. Of course, like the little airy moments and sort of the range. But I never really got a Whitney vibe from her. I feel like she's very constricted to be Whitney. Whitney was like a free singer and just happy a singer and an emotional singer. And I feel like Leona is kind of restricted in a way. Even like when like watching her early performances, she kind of seemed like she was like stiff or something. Like movement. Like she would like try to give her all, but it just seemed still to kind of like stiff, and it's just like, oh, Leona, but still great singer, great performer. But I never got that like Whitney vibe. But they always compare somebody to somebody. Like Lady Gaga was compared to Christina for whatever fucking reason that was. Yeah. But shout out to Leona. She recognized, and I love when a singer is open about their voice. Like Patty has been, like Coco has been, Leona, she's like, yeah, I've gone through some stuff and I'm still healing and I'm still learning how to she was like, her mid-range wasn't so amazing, and she's still working on that. She's still like a work in progress, which is great, but I think the video made it seem like she had her spotty moments, but she's definitely aware of what's going on. But shout out to Christina, because the Back to Basics album has its 15-year anniversary. We love Back to Basics in this household. I was just like, what are my favorite songs? I love Back in the Day. The intro, incredible. I love Back in the Day. We All Love Understand. I didn't like Slow Down Baby until probably about like 4 years ago, 2 years ago, 3 years ago. I really did not like that song. It just seemed very poppy for me to listen. It just seemed very poppy. For some reason, I don't know. I just didn't like it. I love Fuss, On Our Way. Still Dirty is a good song. Without You. And then that second disc, Nasty Naughty Boy, Hurt, Mercy on Me. That's a powerful song. She really did that. Save Me From Myself, Mercy on Me, Save Me From Myself, Right, The Right Man, incredible. Christina has really great like marriage songs, The Right Man, and then Unless It's With You from her last album, Liberation. I love that song. So shout out to Liberation. Shout out to Christina. We stand Christina in this house. Now, did you guys know? Wait, let me look at this Carrie Underwood song so I can give you the right. Because I believe this Carrie Underwood song with Jason Aldean, I think his name is. Oh my god, wait, what? Man loses $7,000 over Carrie Underwood Instagram scam? Yeah, Jason Aldean. They have the number 1 or number 2 song. I think it might be number 1. Song called If I Didn't Love You. It's a really good song. I don't think I've talked about it on the podcast yet. Wait, you guys, I want to talk about something. Oh my gosh. Okay. It's the number 2 song on the pop song on the country radio hits. It's a really good song. They mesh well together. It's a great duet. Really great lyrics. Well, if you're into country music, go check it out. If you're not, still go check out. Oh crap, what did I do with? Y'all, I wanted to do a podcast on BLOVE. Because that lady, God bless her soul. Like, what a mess. What a mess. Her son has COVID. I guess I'm going to talk about it now. Her son has COVID in the hospital, you guys. And she's talking about, at the time, she was like, yeah, I'm going to go to Atlanta. No, I'm driving to some 2 hours away to some kind of like gospel conference or something, whatever. And then I'm going to Atlanta to go to a birthday party. And then after that, I got to get right back on the plane and go to, where the heck? Oh, here it is. I got to go right back on the plane to go to Las Vegas because it's my anniversary, y'all. And it's just like, girl, your son is in the hospital. Your son is in the hospital with COVID on a ventilator. She was talking about his oxygen levels weren't, of course, the oxygen levels weren't right. He's miserable. Every time he goes to the bathroom, his oxygen levels go down or something like that. It's just like, and then she's still talking about, I'm going to Vegas to see Usher. It's like, girl, wake the fuck up. Are you asleep? And she's one of the ones that still have been like traveling on and on. I'm sure she's not vaccinated. Not that it matters. You do what you want to do with that. We all know, they're saying if you get vaccinated, it'll help kill down the virus. But whatever, you guys. And it's not going to mutate or whatever. You guys, I just can't with this virus. I was speaking with Picante Jenkins last night, and he was like, I was like, yeah. He was like, I'm going to record it because he really has some great stories last night. We're going to record it. I have to record the next one because, yeah, just stay tuned. So he was like, how's this going to be when we go back into winter? And I'm like, we already did this before. Like, we did this before. He was like, oh, yeah. I was like, yeah. It's about to be 2 years of this virus, and it's rampating through people and ending their lives. Like, we're seeing back again the deaths and just quick. And it's just like, oh, my goodness. Shout out to you, James. If you're listening, this podcast is dedicated to you. I hope you listen. I should have probably said this in the beginning. If you're listening, this is dedicated to you. I hope you feel better. I pray you feel better. I pray you get better. I know you're going to get better. Yeah, James. Anyways, so, what was I talking about? Oh, BLOVE. And, it's just like, girl, she's been traveling throughout this entire time. Her son has been traveling. It's just like, y'all. I think her son got it. Her brother got it, and her brother's girlfriend got it. Caught the COVID. It's just like, oh my gosh. Wake up. Wake up. Sit down. She's like, yeah, I'm a busybody. I gotta stay busy. I gotta stay places. They're like, no, that's none of my business. Anyways. But yeah, the Carrie song is great. Oh, so this last week, the Tony Bennett and Lady Gaga concerts happened. Now, I've been like, what the fuck is going on? Because I'm just so fucking confused. To be honest, I really am. I'm just like, how is this man with Alzheimer's performing? And he's had it for like 4 years. So, but then I'm also thinking, okay, he's a celebrity. He's a famous person. He has money. He has access to way more advanced healthcare than we do as normal, regular citizens. So I'm like, now I'm just thinking, like, okay, maybe it's okay. But then I saw the concert set list, and the set list was like Lady Gaga set list, and she had like 10 songs, and then he had 10 songs, or 11 songs or something like that. And then they performed like 3 songs together, and I was just like, oh. Okay, so this isn't really like a Tony Bennett and Lady Gaga concert. This is a Tony Bennett, Lady Gaga concert. His last concert, his last musical endeavors. As I think I said last week, the album comes out in October 14th, I believe it is. The album comes out October 14th. Did I tell you I love the cover? The cover was very beautiful. She looked great on it. I think this album, I think, was like recorded like 4 years ago, or in the process of 4 years ago. So we're looking at like A Star Is Born, we're looking at, and it looked similar, like the wig looked similar to A Star Is Born. So I was like, okay, this makes sense. But, so yeah. So I was just like, interesting. Let me see if I can find the part. No, I can't. The one review that was like, they get like 23 standing ovations. Okay, girl. What else are they gonna do? Then, I don't know what, this AARP article talked about, clearly, It's very sad. Oh, okay. So one of the reviews, speaking of his Alzheimer's, because I was like, how is this working? This man has Alzheimer's, but he's singing songs. Yes, you guys are keeping him up singing the songs and stuff. But I'm just like, how is this working? So the review was just saying the only signs of him having Alzheimer's was him like rambling on for like a very long time in between songs, and okay, I forgot the other part. I want to say it was like he was like standing there or something like that. I forgot. I don't know. But yeah, there was like no video footage. I'll see if somebody, stuck your camera. I'll go look after I take a break. But there was like no audio. There's a couple pictures taken. Everybody came out: Hillary Clinton, Nancy Pelosi, all the big hitters, big wiggers, big sitters, big liggers, nigger wiggers, figure higgers came out and saw them perform. So I'm like, okay, cool. But yeah, that's all I have to say. I think this one part was very crushing to see from the AARP. His word was, he was like, he's becoming like a one-word response person. She says that she thinks all the time about their 2015 tour, Lady Gaga. Tony looks at her wordlessly. Okay, you guys, this is horrible. Why do you guys... Okay, anyways. Wasn't that fun every night, she prompts him. Yeah, he says, uncertainly. The pain and sadness in Gaga's face is clear as such moments, but never more to see than it is extraordinarily moving sequence in which Tony, a man she calls an incredible mentor and friend and father figure. I have a problem with the father figure. Like, nigga, you already have a father. Why are you trying to have another father? How does he become your father figure? Just say your mentor and a friend, girl. Sings a solo passage of a love song. Gaga looks on from beyond her mic, her smile breaking into a quiver, her eyes brimming, before she puts her hands over her face and sobs. Like, y'all, this is heartbreaking. I don't know why y'all are doing this to this woman, or even, this is a mess. Leave, that's why I'm just like, I don't think we need to be exposed like this to Alzheimer's people. Okay, I've been talking for 27 minutes. And I'm going to get to the last topic for this segment until I get back. The Olympics ended this week, and so I was like, okay, let me go and check out what's popping, locking, dropping with the Olympics. The Olympics, one thing I noticed, okay, so the American track team came in 6th place. And you know what he revealed? He revealed that, well, a couple of them revealed that they hadn't practiced in like 2 days. Yeah, you heard me. I said they hadn't practiced in like 2 days before their performance, which is why they came in 6th, possibly why. Who won? I'm forgetting who won. I'm not even going to go there. I can't remember. But they hadn't practiced, so that looks horrible. And I was reading the comments and they were like, yeah, America's been doing this. And I was just like, wow. And it's so interesting now to see like a new breed, a new group of American, or just in general, the new people that are out here being the fastest people in the world. It's very interesting to see. They're all young. They're all in their 20s. Because the last time I saw the Olympics, I'm trying to remember, I think it was in London, right? The last one with like Usain Bolt and Yusufa, whatever, I follow him on Instagram. He's in Jamaica. They were all in their 30s. And I think it was Justin or Derek, Justin Gaston, something like that. They were all in their 30s. Now all these new ones, they're in their early 20s. And so it's so interesting to see the switch. I was like, wait a minute. Like, I don't think any of them were really in their 30s that were competing. Okay, and then the last thing I want to say, that the Italian man that won is clearly a black man. He's the only reason, the black gene is the only reason why Italy came in at first place in whatever that thingy that they were doing. So I'm going to take a break. And when I come back from my main course meal, we're going to talk a little Ivy Park and Beyonce. I'll be back. All right, we're back. Thank you for listening. Continue to listening to the 34th episode of the Dare Show podcast. Hey! So, one of my favorites, always a favorite, Miss Beyonce. Let's talk. So, earlier this week, was it this week? Sometimes I can't even remember what happened. It was a Sunday, it was a Monday, it was a Friday. I think it was Monday. Ivy Park Rodeo. No, I think this was last week. Ivy Park Rodeo was like, the previews came out, and I'm just like, do what? August 18th is coming. You can buy the stuff. Child, I don't know who's buying this stuff, but go ahead. Somebody was like, Beyonce needs to just give it up. And I'm just like, okay. She's just like running through themes like a Tomb Raider. Like, let's do this one. Let's do that one. And I'm just like, rodeo. I appreciate it, and I love it. I love, she's able to give, singers, musicians, models these opportunities to be a part of her brand and show talent, different talent, black talent. I appreciate that part, but girl, you just run through ideas. There was Icy Park, there was Ivy Park, there's Rodeo Park, whatever it's called, I don't know. And it's just like, and I do appreciate, you're giving, different facets, showing us different facets of black people, the muscle black people. I think that was the last one. Like the gym. I forgot the slogan, but this one, the rodeo, black cowboys. I think they were called black cow hands back in the day before something happened. And then they became black cowboys. Even though like the racism with the black cowboys. I do appreciate that part, but now it's just like, okay, what's next, and what are you actually bringing? And I feel like the clothing, they're not 100% yay. They're like, okay, I guess if we have to. I'm not buying anything like that, of course. Most of her stuff is like for female women, so it's just like nothing really there for me. Oh, Ivy Park Flex. That's what it was called. Excuse me. So that came out, and I was just like, yeah, I don't know how much more she has to give. I'm not saying, axe out Ivy Park. Like somebody said on my timeline, they're like, she just needs to end it. I'm not saying that. I think it just needs to. I thought she should do like essentials, like basic stuff. But now it's just like sort of theme stuff. And that first Ivy Park with like the whole spread where it was like blue and the black and the pink and the beige, and they had the mask. I so wanted one of those beige masks. Oh gosh. And it's like the stuff isn't. It's weird. It's so weird. Like, you can't buy this stuff anymore. Like, it's gone. When it's gone, it's gone. It's like, wait a minute. So, anyways. So, then yesterday, Miss Beyonce did a Harper's Bazaar, or the Harper's Bazaar magazine article was released. And I'm telling you, this is probably the best article she's done in a while. As far as information being revealed, and I don't think I said it on the podcast, but maybe I have, but I definitely tweeted it. I was like, I want Beyonce to give us stories. I want her to give us background information on like certain performances or certain ideas, like what was going on And I was like, wow. She did that so much in this. I don't know if she, is Beyonce looking at my shit? Hey, Beyonce. Let's talk. Let's talk. I would do an interview with Beyonce. We're gonna have so much fun. There's so much that I have so many questions, so many celebratory moments for her. So many questions. That would be a fun interview. Yvette, anybody listening, let's get it done. But okay. This thing with Beyonce recently, the last interview she did, I'm forgetting what magazine it was for, but it was really good, where she was like talking about she was online. I think it was like a Zoom meeting. It seemed very natural. This one seemed like a Q&A. Like, you ask me the question and I'll type my answer in. Like an essay. Like, it seemed very rehearsed. It didn't seem natural. And we're going to get into that. So she opens up about her vocal injury she had at 13. I had my very first vocal injury at 13 from singing in the studio for too many hours. We had just gotten our first record deal. Okay, this is before, I was thinking this was like when she was like a kid. But this is when she was with Destiny's Child. We forget, and the girl's almost 40. My girl's turning 40 next month. And I'm like, where did the time go? Like, my girl is turning 40. Okay, Beyonce. My first record deal, when I was afraid I had developed, we had just gotten our first record deal, and I was afraid I had developed nodules and destroyed my voice, and my career would be over. The doctors put me on vocal rest all summer, and I was silent once again. My teenage years were about the grind. I grew up hearing this particular scripture from James 2:17. Faith without work is dead. Vision and intention weren't enough. I had to put in work. I committed always being a student, always being open to growth. And then she talks about, she was a kid. She really put in the sacrifice. She didn't have time to play around. She had a goal. She was stuck. She knew what she wanted to do, and she was going to get it. And that vocal injury possibly would have set her back or just killed the goal, but she took the rest. She was very goal-driven. She made a lot of sacrifices. And then she turned 20. She was like in her 20s. She was focused on being commercial success and number ones and being a visionary. When she was a kid, she was like, I was a kid. I was an introvert. She said she was an introvert. So she's giving us slightly like Maya Angelou type thing. Me and Beyonce, we're Virgos, right? And one thing she did talk about, like, always in your head. Like, I'm always in my head. I don't speak a whole lot. And I've noticed, like, I'm trying to break that habit of not speaking a whole lot. Answering, like, I've become sort of, in a way, maneuvering like a mute in a way. Like, I know in my head. And I'm trying to, like, be more conscious of, like, not doing that. Like, actually being a regular person and speaking, like, yes, no, okay. Like, I'm trying to, sometimes, like, this past weekend, I kind of fell into, like, not talking. And it might have just been, like, a mood. So, yeah. But anyways. I took control of my independence at 27 and started Parkwood Entertainment. At that time, there wasn't a company that did what I needed to do or ran the way I wanted to run. So I created this multi-purpose badass conglomerate that was creative agency, record label, production company, and management company to produce. Now, I think, she's saying what it was now, but at the time, I think it was just like a record company and like a production company. Girl, you weren't managing nobody. I wanted to manage myself and have a company to put art and creative first. Where does she go? I remember being in a meeting discussing analytics. This is where we're getting some behind the scenes moments. And I was told the research discovered that my fans did not like when my photography was black and white. They told me I wouldn't sell if it wasn't in color. This was ridiculous. It pissed me off. that agency could dictate what my fans based on a survey wanted based on a survey. Who did they ask? How is it possible to generalize people this much? Are their studies accurate? Are they fair? Are they people trying to uplift? Are all the people I'm trying to uplift and shine a light included? They're not. It triggered me when I was told these studies show, blah blah, show, blah 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 blah. I was so exhausted and annoyed with the formatic corporate companies that I based my whole next project off of black and white photography, including the videos for Single Ladies in a Faraway Way, and all the artwork by Peter Lindbergh for I Am Sasha Fierce, which ended up being my biggest successful commercial success to date. I tried to keep the human feeling and spirit and emotion in my decision making. I love that she gave us that tidbit information. Because it was, like, completely different. And she was stuck on the black and white. We were just like, okay, here we go with Ego. Girl, this is your 5th single on Ego. And you're still doing black and white. What's clicking? What's popping? What's going on? Now we know. But I'm trying to figure out what black and white photography was going on. Because B-Day was full of color, full of life, full of emotion, fun. I think, Freakum Dress had like 100,000 colors in the metallics at that. Deja Vu, green light, so like bright colors, upgrade you. So I'm just like, who said that? Because that was the era before I Am Sasha Fierce. And like I talked about last week, Halo being the most successful. See how this all ties together. We're talking good. This moment also reminds me of Tyra Banks when she was saying that she's going through like a phase of being a businesswoman, and a part of being a businesswoman, what she thought was like always wearing suits. And if you remember, like it's like late, I think it was like 2010, 11, Tyra wore nothing but suits. Jumpsuits, regular suits, suits to boots, all day long. And she's like, girl, what's going on? Now she was saying, she revealed, I was trying to prove myself in a way as a businesswoman or going anti-something. Anyways, she said in her 30s, in my 30s, we're about digging deeper. In 2013, I started Be Good to share the mentality that we all could do something to help others, something my parents instilled in us from a young age. She talks about her philanthropy work. And I feel like, I thought they kind of started something with, maybe I'll just think about House of Darion, but I thought they started like a charity back in like late Destiny's Child days, but I guess not. She talked about her being, one day I decided I wanted to be like Sade and Prince. I wanted the focus to be on my music, because if my art isn't as strong enough or meaningful enough to keep people interested and inspired, then I'm in the wrong business. My music, my film, my art, my message, that shows that should be enough. They read her for filth on Twitter about this. They were like, why is Miss Tina always bringing you up, always defending you? She must be searching your name. Girl, why are you acting like you don't get on social media? You act like you're so anti-social media. I'm not saying any of this is like, these are not my opinions. This is what I read. I'm a very open person. I'm just like, okay, this is very interesting information. I'm going to take it in, take what I want from it, and take what's important. She talked about her being, reserved. I fought to protect my sanity and my privacy because of the quality of my life. Because the quality of my life depended on it. A lot of who I am is reserved for the people I love and trust. Those who do not know me, have never met me, might interpret that I am closed off. Trust. The reason those folks don't see certain things about me is because my Virgo ass don't want them to see it. It's not because it doesn't exist. I definitely connect with that Virgo moment. You don't always, I'm not showing you all the sides of me. This podcast is probably like the most freeing thing. I'm probably my definite self during this podcast. But like in person, like coworkers and shit, people are always like, why are you so quiet? You don't ever say anything back. And I'm just like, okay, I don't really know you. We're coworkers. I see you in passing. Like, are we supposed to just spark up a conversation? I don't know. I'm not like the typical male. So I'm just like, okay, whatever. My father always encouraged me to write my own songs and create my own vision. He is the reason why I wrote and produced at such a young age. And I think I missed that part, but she was talking about like when she was a kid, she always had a vision. She built up this vision of stuff, and honestly, like, I don't know anybody who's ever really done it. I think somebody might have done it before, but that B-Day video anthology was the start of her having these like video thingies, and then like the long form videos, you know, she was doing a little acting, having a little more fun with like If I Were a Boy. Did Broken Hearted Girl get a video? I think it did. But like that was sort of the precursor to the Beyonce visual album, and always making like a video. And I love that about her. I love that she like gave us creative for all these videos. I kind of thought she was going to continue it with 4, but she kind of didn't. But that video anthology really sparked something. And it sparked something in me, because then I became more creative. I was like, oh, I wish Mariah would have done, because Mariah, The Emancipation of Mimi, I was listening to that heavily throughout, 2006, 2005, the same sort of time period. I was like envisioning videos from Mariah and into like Side Effects. Like, I wish she would have done a video for Side Effects, like a cool little, but anyways, okay, I'm going to move on. He's the reason why I produced at such a young age. I remember starting hearing people criticize me after I put on some weight. She wrote Bootylicious, and she wanted to talk about being healthy, and health isn't just about looking skinny. It's about how you feel and your mental health. I think that's pretty much it. It's a really great, I love the behind the scenes moments. She gave us stories. Oh, she talked about I vividly remember this client who was an opera singer. She was this regal black woman who traveled all around the world and would tell these incredible stories. I loved to hear about her travels and decided one day I would travel around the world too. That was such a beautiful moment. She talked about her being, I can't believe I was skipped this part, missed this part, didn't say it. She took vocal lessons from an opera singer, singing lessons from an opera singer, and that was like, yes, it's so clear. It's so, like, why are you holding this stuff back from us? Why are you just not telling us this, girl? It's been like 20-something years, and you're just not telling us you had vocal lessons from an opera singer? I remember reading something one time saying that Patti LaBelle, my favorite, she had sort of lessons or like tips. She had getting tips from one opera singer. I don't know if that was true or not. That's a question to ask Patti, because Patti has the opera thing, the opera tone, the opera singing moments. It's just like incredible, and I love the opera. Patti's opera meets R&B. Like, that is such a unique talent. Like, nobody else is doing it like that. I think that's it. One thing about, like I said, it just seemed very... Oh, she talked about her CBD. She got into CBD on her last tour. I discovered CBD on my last tour, and I've experienced its benefits for soreness and inflammation. It helped me with restless nights and agitation that comes from not being able to fall asleep. I found the healing properties in honey that benefit me and my children. And now we're building a hemp and a honey farm. I've gotten hives on my roof. Yeah, that last interview, she talked about her having, always loving bees, and the honey being like a healing for her and her kids, and she had like a honey bees in her backyard or something like that. Very cool, very cool. These pictures are, some of them are awkward, some of them are very beautiful. She talked about new music, and she says music is coming. This part made it seem weird. Like her answer to this music question was very like, okay, girl, we just asked if you have any music. And she gave like an essay answer. It's like, okay, girl, okay. That's what I'm saying. Like some of these questions are some of these answers are very structured. It seems. Is there anything else I want to say about this wonderful article? Oh, yes, I have paid my dues, and now I have paid my dues and followed every rule for decades. So now I can break the rules that I need to be broken. My wish to the future is to continue to do everything everyone thinks I can't do. And I think she's talking about these awards that she's been trying to get. But one thing, and she talked about being a little girl and maybe pageants or like school or something. And she's like, I knew as a little girl I was the only black girl in the room. So therefore I knew I had to perform even better, even give everything. Oh, that's when, yeah, that was early on when she's talking about, that's when I had to like, I created this personality, I created this persona, and it wasn't who I was. Well, it is who I am, but I had to like push through and you put into like a third drive to get into something, to show I'm better than everybody else because I am the only black woman in the room, black girl in the room as a kid. And so that, I'm connecting this with Black is King. A lot of her fans, a lot of the Beehive are like pissed off, Black is King didn't get pretty much any nomination. Okay, and to me, I've only seen Black is King once. I did not understand Black is King. I understand what she said it was about, but I don't understand her role in it. I didn't understand her role in it. Was she the narrator? Was she telling a story? And then she's like acting it out, and then, we're seeing, subtle moments. It's a beautiful visual from the Disney shit incorporated with her mind and her talent and the music. Although the music, to me, the music is a little too, I didn't understand why the music had to like lag on for like 2 extra minutes, like each song. Like, girl, no, we didn't need all that. Although I do wish that the extras that she put in were like put on the re-release of the album. That would have been nice, the extra in the music. But I just didn't understand it, and I don't think it gave us a cohesive story. I just didn't understand it. And I feel like if I didn't understand it, there's definitely other people that did not understand it. And you probably need to team up with better people, in a way, to push through, because you are the only black woman in the room as far as like this film type stuff right now, film music industry type thing. You are the only black woman in the room. You have to push through and push harder. It has to be great every time. It has to be cohesive. It has to be incredible. It has to be great, because you are going up against harder critics. You are going up against these white people. That's all I have to say. Those are my thoughts on Black is King and her wanting to break down barriers and break down, I think, the film industry. A lot of people want her to have that I will always love you moment. And in a way, I think Halo probably is that I will always love you moment. In terms of ballads, it definitely is. But also, why does she have to have that? I feel like, Crazy in Love, Single Ladies. Those are her moments. Definitely. Those are her classic moments. And I'm not saying everybody needs a ballad. You definitely don't need. I feel like it's a popular thing to do. Hello, Rolling in the Deep. Oh, Rolling in the Deep is kind of a mid-tempo. I Break My Heart, Because You Love Me, My Heart Will Go On. Those ballads are definitely songs that everybody connects with because it's a ballad. But I'm definitely like, that's probably not what her strong point is with commercial success. As we see, it's Single Ladies, it's Crazy in Love, it's Drunk in Love. Like, it's these up-tempo, fun songs. So yeah, tell me what you think. What do you think about this article? Please leave a comment. Thank you for listening. Actually, I appreciate everybody who's listening. This is the 34th episode of the Dare Show, the Dare Show podcast. What songs are you excited to listen to from Libra? What song are you excited to listen to from Aaliyah? Let me know. Let me know. What do you think about these Ivy Park moments? Do you think she should just let it go? Is it becoming too much? Is it coming to an end? What are your favorite songs from Back to Black, Back to Basics? All right, so if you want to listen, if you want to leave a comment, absolutely leave a comment. You can definitely share it. I'm on Spotify. I'm on everywhere that you can listen to a podcast. Thank you so much for listening to the Dare Show podcast. If you would like to follow or leave a comment again on Instagram, it's at My Love My Need Tonight. Thank you so much for listening, and I'll be back next week.